close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in and let it go. You are walking, moving slowly, very slowly, through an ancient pine forest somewhere in the north of Scandinavia. Norway, perhaps, or Sweden. It does not matter. What matters is the stillness here, and the dark, and the cold. It is evening. The last pale light of a winter afternoon has already slipped behind the tree line, leaving behind a deep, velvety blue darkness that presses gently against you from every side. The trees are enormous, tall black pines that rise up and up, disappearing into the grey ceiling of the sky far above. Their trunks are thick and deeply ridged, and they stand so close together that only slivers of the last remaining light filter down between them. It is raining. A heavy, relentless, cold rain that has been falling for hours now. You can hear it more than feel it at first, a deep, constant rushing sound up in the canopy above you, where millions of tiny drops strike the pine needles all at once and then trickle down branch by branch, gathering into larger drops that fall with soft, irregular ticks onto the mossy ground below. Some of those drops find you. The cold trickle runs down the back of your neck. Your coat is damp now, heavy with moisture clinging to your arms and shoulders. You can feel the cold seeping through the fabric wherever the rain has soaked through. Your boots are wet. The ground beneath your feet is soft and yielding, a thick, spongy carpet of dark green moss that absorbs your footsteps completely, so that you walk in near silence. Breathe in through your nose. Notice what the air smells like here. It is extraordinary. It was a deep, rich, layered scent that fills your lungs completely. There is the sharp, resinous smell of pine, clean and medicinal and ancient. Beneath that, the darker, earthier smell of wet moss and rain-soaked soil, the smell of decomposing needles and old wood slowly returning to the earth. And underneath everything else, the smell of cold itself, thin and metallic, the smell of frozen water and bare granite and the coming winter. You breathe it in. And you keep walking. Your path winds between the trees without any real direction. There is no path here, in truth. Just the spaces between the trunks and the softness of the moss guiding your feet forward. A branch, heavy with water, droops low across your way, and you duck beneath it gently. Cold drops scatter onto your face and hair. They are shockingly cold, needle-sharp on your skin for just a moment, and then gone, absorbed. The wind moves through the forest in long, slow waves. You can hear it coming before it reaches you, a distant sighing high in the treetops, building slowly, growing closer, and then it passes through the branches directly above you, a deep, hollow moan that vibrates in your chest, like a very low note. And then it fades again, receding back into the trees, leaving only the steady rain behind. You are cold. Genuinely cold now. The kind of cold that goes past discomfort and settles into your bones. Your fingers are numb inside your pockets. Your face feels raw and bitten by the wind. Each breath you exhale creates a small white cloud that disappears instantly into the damp air. You walk on. one slow step, and then another. The moss gives softly under each footfall. The rain continues to fall, ceaseless and indifferent, filling the forest with its low, rushing murmur. And then you see it. Through the trees, perhaps 30 meters ahead, there is a shape. Something dark and solid and rectangular, standing apart from the organic disorder of the forest. You stop. You look at it. And slowly, as your eyes adjust, you understand what you are seeing. It is a cabin. A small, old wooden cabin sitting in a slight clearing between the pines. It is built in the old Scandinavian style, low and sturdy, constructed from heavy, dark timber logs that fit together with extraordinary precision. The roof is steeply pitched to shed the snow, and a wide stone chimney rises from one end of it, its top disappearing into the rainy darkness above. There is a single small window on the front wall, its glass dark. A wooden door, its paint long since weathered away, sits slightly recessed in its frame. The cabin looks abandoned, but it also looks miraculously, impossibly, perfectly intact. No broken windows, no collapsed roof. Just old and dark and waiting, as if it has stood here patiently for 100 years, enduring every storm, knowing that eventually someone would come. You walk towards it. Through the last few rows of trees, over a low, mossy granite rock that crosses your path, and then you are standing at the door. You reach out your hand, your fingers are trembling slightly from the cold, and you press down on the old iron latch. It gives with a heavy, solid clunk. You push the door inward. It opens stiffly, with a long, low creak of old wood and iron hinges, and then you step inside, and you pull it shut behind you. The silence changes immediately. Outside, the rain was everywhere, above you, around you, filling the air with its constant sound. In here, it becomes something different. It is still present, very much so. You can hear it hammering against the roof just above your head, a rich, complex percussion of drops striking old wood. But it is now outside you. It is contained. You are inside, and the rain is outside, and there is a wall between you. You stand very still for a moment, letting your eyes adjust to the deeper darkness inside the cabin. Slowly, shapes emerge. A small iron wood stove against the far wall, not a stove actually, but a proper old stone fireplace, built directly into the wall, with a wide stone hearth in front of it. A simple wooden bed frame in the corner, its mattress covered with a thick, folded wool blanket. A rough wooden table with a single chair. A shelf holding a few dark objects you cannot quite make out. And beside the fireplace, neatly stacked, a supply of dry birch logs. The cabin smells of old wood and cold ash and something slightly sweet. The ghost of wood smoke from fires burned long ago, soaked into every grain of the timber walls. It smells like shelter. It smells like rest. You begin to take off your coat. It is heavy and soaked through, and peeling it off your arms feels like shedding something, like removing a weight you had forgotten you were carrying. You hang it on an old iron hook beside the door. Water drips from it steadily, darkening the floor beneath. Your boots come next. You sit on the edge of the hearth. The stone is cold but solid and reassuring, and you unlace them slowly, your fingers still clumsy with cold. You pull them off, one and then the other, and set them near the fireplace. Your socks are damp. You peel them off too, and your feet, bare on the cold stone floor, immediately begin to feel more real again, more present. Now the fireplace. You kneel on the hearth and look inside. There is old ash in the grate, pale and powdery, but the damper above it is closed. You reach up and push it open. It moves with a scraping sound, and immediately a cold breath of air flows down from the chimney, carrying the smell of rain and stone. You arrange 2 of the smaller birch logs on the grate, and then a few pieces of the dry kindling you find in a small tin box on the shelf. There are long matches in a glass jar on the mantel. You take one, and you strike it against the rough stone of the hearth. It flares, a small, warm, golden flame, and you hold it to the kindling, moving it slowly from one piece to the next. The kindling catches slowly at first, then more eagerly. A thin curl of smoke rises, and then the first real flame appears, a small, wavering tongue of pale orange that leans sideways in the updraft from the chimney. You watch it. Just watch it for a long moment. The flame grows. It finds the edge of the first birch log and begins to work its way along the pale bark, and then with a soft sound, a quiet, almost gentle whomp, the log catches and real fire begins. Warm, unsteady, living light fills the small cabin, throwing long shadows up the dark timber walls. You add another log, and then one more. The fire settles into itself, finding its rhythm, and the sound it makes is one of the most satisfying sounds in the world, a soft, continuous crackling and spitting, low and irregular and infinitely comforting. The warmth begins to move toward you. You can feel it on your face first, a gentle pressure of heat, like a hand held just an inch from your skin. Then on your arms, your chest, your bare feet. The cold that had settled into you during the walk through the forest begins to release its grip, slowly, degree by degree. You stand and move to the bed. You take the thick wool blanket from the mattress and wrap it around your shoulders. It is heavy and warm and smells faintly of lavender and cedar, the smell of something carefully stored, cared for. You pull it tighter around you, and the weight of it is immediately deeply comforting. You return to the fire and stand before it for a few minutes more, letting the warmth find every cold place inside you. The rain hammers against the roof above your head. The fire crackles softly below. Outside, the pine forest stands in the dark, enduring the rain as it has always done, as it will always do. In here there is warmth. In here there is shelter. You move to the bed. You pull back the blanket and the sheet beneath. Both are cool and slightly stiff with disuse, but the mattress yields gently as you lie down, conforming to the shape of you. You pull the covers up, arranging them carefully, tucking them around your shoulders, your sides. You are still wrapped in the wool blanket, and now the bed covers are on top of that, and the weight of it all is extraordinary. Warm and heavy and complete. From the bed, you can see the fireplace directly. The fire has grown now, confident and steady, its light filling the cabin with a gentle, pulsing warmth that shifts slightly with every movement of the flame. The shadows on the walls breathe in and out. The ceiling above you is dark old timber, and the firelight makes it glow like amber. Let your body sink into the mattress. Feel the weight of the blankets pressing down, keeping you still, keeping you warm. There is nothing you need to do. Nowhere you need to go. There's only this room, and this fire, and this rain. Listen to the rain. Really listen to it. It has many layers. There is the broadest sound, the overall roar of it, filling the forest and the darkness outside like static, like the sound of a river heard from a distance. It never stops, this sound. It rises and falls with the wind, growing slightly louder and then quieter, but it never ceases. It is the background against which everything else sounds. Within that, there is the sound of the rain on the roof directly above you. This is a sharper, more intimate sound, individual drops striking the old wooden planks just a meter above your face. Tap. Tap, tap. Tap. Each drop distinct, each one slightly different in pitch and weight and speed. Some arrive in small clusters, a brief stutter of sound. Others are solitary, separated from the rest by a fraction of a second that feels like a small breath, a tiny pause. And then there is the window. Rain running down the glass, not in drops here, but in thin, continuous rivulets, each one tracing its own meandering path down the pane. The sound it makes against the glass is softer than the roof, a lighter, more delicate percussion, like fingers on a tabletop, like the quietest possible applause. You watch the fire. The logs have settled now, and the flames are lower than before, but more constant. A steady, deep burning that sends out a more even heat than the early bright fire did. Occasionally a pocket of gas in the wood ignites with a soft pop, and a brief shower of orange sparks rises and dies. Occasionally a piece of bark peels away and falls through the grate with a soft hiss. But mostly the fire simply burns, quietly and completely, maintaining itself, doing its work. The light it gives off is golden. Not the bright, flat white of artificial light, but a warm, uneven living gold that shifts with every movement of the flame. It makes the grain of the timber walls visible, brings out every knot and ridge in the old wood. The ceiling above you seems close and warm and protective, not pressing, not confining, just present. A ceiling the colour of old honey. Your body is warm now. Fully, deeply warm, from the surface of your skin all the way down to some still, central place inside you that had been cold for hours. The cold of the forest walk is becoming a memory, growing more distant with every breath. You can feel your muscles beginning to release, your shoulders dropping, your jaw unclenching, the long muscles along your spine softening against the mattress. Breathe in. Breathe out. The rain intensifies briefly. A sudden surge, as if a stronger gust of wind has swept through the forest and pushed the rain sideways, driving it harder against the roof and the window. For a few seconds, the sound is tremendous, a great rushing, pounding wave of noise. and then it eases again, settling back into its steady rhythm, and the relative quiet that follows feels even deeper than before. The fire pops. A small sound, sharp and clear in the cabin. And then back to the crackling, back to the rain. You feel yourself growing heavier. This is not a bad feeling. It is the specific, wonderful heaviness of a body that is finally warm and finally still and finally safe. Your arms feel heavy on the blanket. Your legs feel heavy against the mattress. Even your head feels heavy against the pillow. Not uncomfortably so, but the good kind of heavy. The kind that says stay. Rest. You are finished with effort for the night. The fire is steady now. You watch it without really watching it. Your eyes are soft, unfocused, simply resting on the warm light without trying to see anything in particular. The flames move and shift and fold over each other endlessly, and there is something almost hypnotic about it. Something that your mind can follow without effort, without intention. Notice your breath. Notice how slow it has become without you asking it to. In through your nose, cool and clean and slightly smoky from the fire, and out through your slightly parted lips. Slow and even and deep. As if your body already knows something your mind is still learning. That it is time to let go. The rain. Keep listening to the rain. It has been falling for so long now that it no longer sounds like an event. It sounds like the world itself, like the baseline frequency of existence, like something that has always been and will always be. The pines in the forest absorb it without complaint. The moss drinks it in. The dark earth below receives it. And in here, in this warm and amber-lit room, you simply listen to it. Tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tap. There is a sound from the chimney, not quite a sound, more of a breath, as the wind outside finds the opening and sends a small puff of cold air down into the warm room. The flames in the fireplace bend sideways for a moment, lean away from the chimney, and then straighten again as the draught passes. The cold kiss of outside air touches your face for just a second, impossibly brief, and then the warmth closes back around you like water. Your eyelids are heavy. You are aware of them now, of the specific pleasant weight of them, of the way they want to close and stay closed. You let them close, just for a moment. And behind your closed eyelids, the light of the fire is still present, a deep, warm, pulsing orange, dimmer than the room, but still there, still warm, like sunlight seen through your hands. You listen. Rain on the roof. Fire in the grate. The deep silence of the forest all around, wrapped in its dark and its cold, a silence made fuller and richer by all the small sounds inside it. Your mind begins to slow. The thoughts that were present earlier, the walk through the trees, the cold, the finding of the cabin, they are receding now, losing their sharp edges, becoming something softer and less distinct. They are not disappearing. They are simply settling, like sediment sinking through still water, drifting down towards some deep and quiet place where they can rest. Breathe in. Breathe out. The fire crackles softly. Once, and then a pause, and then twice in quick succession, and then a longer silence in which you can hear the rain more clearly, and then a low, settling sound as one of the logs shifts deeper into the embers. You're warm from your feet to the crown of your head. The blankets lie across you like a gentle, undemanding weight. The pillow beneath your head has molded itself to exactly the right shape, neither too hard nor too soft. Your hands lie still on the covers. You can barely feel them anymore, not because they are cold, but because they have merged with the warmth so completely that there is no longer any distinction between your skin and the air around it. Everything is exactly right. The temperature, the darkness, the sounds, the weight of the blankets, the amber glow of the fire on the other side of your closed eyelids. Everything exactly right. Let your body become still. Not forced stillness, not held rigidly in place, but the natural, effortless stillness of a body that has no reason to move. You are not trying to be still. You simply are. Your breath moves in and out without your asking it to. Your heart beats its slow, steady rhythm somewhere in the warm center of your chest. Everything else is quiet. The rain has not stopped. It will not stop tonight. It will continue to fall across the whole of this dark Scandinavian forest, across the black pines and the white birches and the frozen lakes and the granite outcroppings and the empty roads, long after you have surrendered to sleep. It will be falling when the morning comes, grey and soft, and the forest will smell of it, and the streams will be running high and quick. But none of that is for now. Now there is only the rain on the roof, and the fire in the grate, and you, here, warm and still, and resting. Let your jaw relax. Let your teeth part very slightly. Feel the muscles of your face release, your brow, your temples, the space behind your eyes. Let them all go. There is no expression needed here. No face to present to the world. Just rest. Your shoulders. Let them sink. And your chest. Let it be heavy. Let it rise and fall with your breathing without any effort on your part. Your stomach, soft. Your hips, your thighs, your calves, heavy, all of them pressing gently down into the mattress which receives them without complaint. The fire pops once. A gust of wind moves through the pine forest outside, and the sound of the rain on the roof changes for a moment, grows fuller and more complex, a whole orchestra of water and wood, and then simplifies again as the wind passes on, moving deeper into the trees, carrying its cold elsewhere. You are drifting. You can feel it. The slow, gentle, downward movement, not of your body, but of your awareness. Like sinking through very still, very warm water, moving through layers of increasing quiet. The surface of consciousness is still faintly present. You can still hear the rain, still feel the weight of the blankets, still sense the warmth of the fire on the left side of your face. But these things are growing more distant now, softening, as if heard through several walls rather than one. This is not frightening. This is exactly right. This is sleep, coming for you exactly as it should, not as a sudden darkness, but as a slow, comfortable dissolving. A letting go of one layer at a time. Rain. Fire. The smell of old wood and warm blankets and cold pine forest just beyond the walls. Breathe. The logs in the fireplace are deep red embers now, with a low blue flame moving quietly across their surface. The bright orange fire of an hour ago has calmed into something older and steadier. The kind of fire that will last through the night on its own, slowly consuming itself, giving its warmth to the room without any drama. The light it gives is dimmer than before, and warmer in colour. A deep, dark amber that barely reaches the far walls of the cabin, leaving the corners in a shadow so soft and so still that it is almost like a presence. You do not mind the shadow. The shadow is part of the warmth. The darkness is not empty but full of the sounds of the rain, full of the smell of the smoke, full of the sense of the forest beyond the walls, patient and enormous and ancient. Your breathing has changed again. It is slower now than it was. Slow enough that each inhale seems to take a very long time, seems to fill every possible space inside your chest, before it finally, slowly, reverses. And each exhale empties you completely, leaves you for a moment with nothing at all. A pure, weightless pause between one breath and the next. In that pause between the breaths, there is a silence so complete that you can hear the very faintest sounds. The tiny settling of the ash in the fireplace. The minute creak of the old cabin walls breathing with the cold outside. The near inaudible sound of rain finding its way into the deepest cracks of the forest floor far below. And then the next breath arrives, and it is warm, and you are still here, still warm, still held. You're almost there. You can sense it. The way that the boundary between waking and sleeping has become very thin, very permeable, a membrane so fine that your thoughts pass through it without noticing. The thoughts themselves have changed. They are no longer the sharp, purposeful kind, moving from one thing to the next with intention. They have become something more like images. A glimpse of the dark trees. The orange glow of the fire. Water on glass. The smell of cold air. And then something that is not quite any of these things, something that does not belong to the waking world at all. Let it come. Do not hold it at arm's length. Do not try to examine it. Just let it move through you, like the rain moves through the forest, touching everything and asking nothing, leaving things just slightly different than they were before. Rain on the roof. Fire in the grate. Warmth pressing in from every side. The slow, even rise and fall of your chest. There's nothing for you to do. Nothing to remember. Nothing to plan. Nothing to worry about. The night is doing all of that for you, holding the hours, keeping the time, watching the fire slowly dim, and the rain slowly ease toward morning. All of that is taken care of. You have only to rest. The cabin holds you. Its old walls, fitted together by hands that knew exactly what they were doing, sealed against the wind and the wet, are holding you as surely as the blankets, as surely as the mattress beneath you. You are contained within something solid and patient and enduring. Something that has stood in this forest for 100 years and will stand for 100 more. Outside, the rain falls. The pines stand in the dark. The moss drinks the water in. The granite outcroppings, half buried in the forest floor, gleam dark and wet. A thin stream somewhere nearby has been swelled by the rain and moves now with a low, continuous murmur over its rocky bed, a sound just barely audible beneath the rain itself, if you know how to listen for it. Let that be the last thing you follow. That sound of water moving over stone, barely there, underneath everything else. Let your mind follow it the way water itself follows the lowest path, not by effort, not by choice, but simply by yielding. Rain. Fire. The soft, settling sound of embers. The weight of the blankets. The warmth. The dark. The rain.